It's a Gators squad that wants to keep that momentum going and keep climbing on the seed line, presented by Joe Lenardi. Meanwhile, Missouri, don't let the record fool you. Missouri has been in games all year long. In fact, 8 of their 14 SEC losses have been in double digits. They're in almost every game. Eventually, the feeling is they're going to bite somebody. You should look at the starting five tomorrow. Bates, as Mark mentioned, 36, a career high in the first matchup in Como. Butler, the freshman in the corner, the big man, number 0. His honor gets a screen from him. Stopped at the baseline, 1 second left, and he's not going to get it off, or did he? Either way, it's an air ball, and it's a shot clock violation. Not exactly the ideal start for Dennis Gates in his second year after an impressive opening campaign with the Missouri Tigers. They went to the NCAA tournament. They won a game. They won 25 games overall, and trying to have a strong finish to this season, maybe play the role of spoiler the rest of the way. The starting five for the Gators, it's the 16th consecutive game that Todd Golden has trotted out this lineup of Poland, Clayton, Handlogden, Samuel, and Richard. Down low it goes, and that's going to be an easy deuce for Tyrese Samuel, one of the top big men of the league.
Oh, you talk about the bouncy bigs. How about that? One big man feeds another.
East, one of the best scorers in the SEC, is playing some great basketball for Mizzou, number 55 in black. Baseline drive, and Bates draws the foul.
Take a look at this last high-low pass. Look how high on the floor Handlogden is, yet has the vision and touch to make that pass, and Samuel the recipient. That's big to big.
Foul was on Richard.
And that's what Bates and East do such a great job of, is drawing fouls.
I'm glad you brought that up, Mark, because as I think about it, whenever we do a Florida game, we don't talk about foul trouble much, because even when somebody gets in it, they're such a deep team. 4 quality guards, 4 quality bigs. Somebody goes out, somebody's there to fill the void. 2 possessions, 2 really patient possessions defensively by Florida. Clayton misfires on a triple. The Gators this year 34% as a team from downtown, and here's a steal by Pullen. Pullen on the attack, takes it right on East, missed it, Samuel on the flush.
That's a great lesson for any young big watching that play. If you're Samuel, you never give up on the play. Don't assume your teammate is going to make every shot.
Missouri, 3 turnovers. There is a good way to bust that slump. Give it to Sean East, let him put it in the bucket.
Frame that move by East. That's almost a signature play.
East averaging 17 points a game. Pullen banging bodies with Carter. A fade and fire pops out, and a nice box out, forcing it over the back foul on Handlogden.
After the steal, watch as here's the fumbled play. Don't assume that Pullen's going to make the shot. Get in the picture. That's what Samuel does as a follow-up with the easy baby flood.
Gators, one of the best offensive rebounding team in the country, and an overall rebound margin of just under +8. We asked Coach Gates, how are you going to prevent them from crashing? As Bates drills a 3. Bates and Shawnee's certainly going to have to be huge if Mizzou can spring an upset tonight. But Coach Gates talked about a whole lot of things in terms of technical fundamentals, how to box out, how to stay in front of your man. But at the end of the day, he said they've just got a lot of weapons, and that's one of them. Tyrese Samuel, bully ball down low with an and one.
Well, this will be the challenge for this kind of undersized Mizzou team at the 3, 4, and 5 positions. Great pocket pass. Samuel absorbs the contact for the and one opportunity. Now, this is where Florida struggles. Just 62% on converting 3-point plays. Samuel shoots the most, but he's only 8 for 15.
And 53% on the year at the line. And all right now, Samuel has already outscored this entire Missouri team 6-5.
I think if I'm sorry, Mike. If I'm a Missouri fan, I'm really thrilled about Bates making that first three because he doesn't really look for a lot of three-point shots. He's quality from there, 39%, but he didn't shoot a whole lot.
Well, what I love about his game overall is for a guy that scores a lot, he's a pretty efficient player. Just under 40 from three, 90 at the line, close to 50 from the field. That's about as good as it gets. East on a step back. And a rare offensive rebound for Missouri. They're last in the league in rebounding.
That's Carolero Martin on the offensive glass.
East, wraparound pass. Carolero Martin on a three.
Yeah, just 5 for 16 on the year from deep.
Missouri's starting five has been very competitive throughout this season. It's the lack of a bench where they have really struggled and been worn down at times by opponents. Condon, a lot of contact. They're going to call that offensive. Pat Adams on the whistle.
That's really a quality job by Jordan Butler. The 7-foot freshman kind of held his ground, stayed vertical the whole time.
Condon's got to be one of those guys when you have to go against him, you just kind of roll your eyes and go, oh, man.
And because of the depth of those bouncy bigs, he's always fresh when he comes in the game.
And again, if he gets in foul trouble, that's okay. He's a backup anyway. Shot clock under 10 for Bates. Up and under, nifty move, but no finish. Condon clears it. Ahead to Clayton. Now Richard all the way, missed it, and saved into the hands of Condon, who's hammered. The kind of pace that Florida likes, the kind of offensive rebounding that Florida has been proficient in all year. The Gators lead by 4. 5 Final Fours, one from Lod Kruger in 1994. That was perhaps the most unexpected. That group of Dan Cross, Craig Brown, Dimitri Hill, among others. And then the rest belongs to Billy Ball, Billy Donovan. Now coaching in the NBA, the Hall of Fame coach. So good during his time here in Gainesville. Condon, 1 out of 2 at the stripe. Bates on the return from East. Slicing, dicing, missed it in the trees. Here's Clayton. What a pass ahead of the big man Samuel. He just dropped it.
He tried to slow up and catch it at the same time. And big guys sometimes have a hard time catching these. That's right there, though. That's like the quarterback that drops it over the head of the linebacker.
That looked like the Kansas City Chiefs receiving corps before they decided to catch the ball from Mahomes and win another Super Bowl championship. By the way, the punter on that team, a former Gator. Actually saw him at the Steve Spurrier Awards a couple nights ago. That ring, Mark Wise, bigger than any jewelry you showcase, and you like you some bling.
A switch. Samuel has to keep up with honor on the perimeter.
Inside, the Jock with a turnaround hook shot. Anything they get from the Jock off the bench, that's some gravy. And it's going to go to Mizzou on the arrow.
Todd Golden did not like the call.
Well, we had a great conversation with Golden at practice yesterday. And one of the things we talked about, the importance of a coach in today's day and era with the portal, roster construction. And everybody's going to the portal. That doesn't mean it's great additions. Very often it's addition by subtraction. You pull some poor players in the portal. They don't perform. They don't get well with others. He struck gold. When you look at the guys he got in the portal, combined with the 2 freshmen they brought in, I don't know if anybody did as well as Todd Golden in the league in the portal.
Majak sets the screen. And basically, Clayton just runs over him. What was the term he used with you? That the portal is
speed dating.
Speed dating.
That's exactly, because you don't have enough time. You're not getting in the family's living room. You're not scouting them for years. It is speed dating at its best. Nice shot by Anthony Robinson, the freshman out of Tallahassee.
One of the things that Florida is doing well so far, guarding the guards of Missouri, is not going for the ball fakes. That's a poor pass by Condon at Kugel's ankles.
Bates, beautiful job. He has such great body control in the air.
You get him in the open floor, he's almost impossible to contain.
Great glider. Great creator of shots on the run. Under 14 to go, a 1-point game now. Samuel bullying his way in, taking it on the much smaller Nick Honor.
Yeah, Missouri does a lot of switching 1 through 5, and they play high on the wings. So that means there's no gap help. Samuel read that beautifully.
Samuel now 4 for 4, 9 points.
Here's a great matchup, a pair of number 2s. Kugel trying to keep up with Bates.
Offensive foul this time on Mizzou. That's the call that Todd Golden wanted a couple of possessions ago. See Samuel getting a breather. And now we'll see one of the 2 freshmen I alluded to, Thomas Hauk, kind of a late bloomer out of New Oxford, Pennsylvania, did not get offered a Power 5, Power 6 scholarship after 4 years of high school, so he played an extra year of prep school, and that's when all the Big Ten schools started calling, and he just happened to grow up a Tim Tebow fan and loved him some Gainesville. That helped reel him in the recruiting process. Here's Pullen up top. Condon, backdoor cut Clayton, drive and kick Kugel. Beautiful basketball by the Gators.
The unselfish play, the reading, the moving without the ball, all on display. Good to see Trent Pierce back on the floor for Mizzou, who hasn't played really meaningful minutes since the first Florida game.
Return to sender, numbers for the Gators. Kugel hammered, and it'll hang and fall off the rim. A pair of free throws coming up for Kugel, but how about the poetry in motion on this possession?
First, the backdoor read by Condon to Clayton, and then Clayton has the wherewithal to see Kugel on the Kansas cut along the baseline for the easy two-handed flush. And that's one of the problems that this Missouri team has had all year. They don't really have any rim protection.
Too strong on the first one from Riley Kugel. He called him kind of the wild card. I can't think of a better description. I mean, we watched him in practice for over an hour yesterday, and then kind of a knockout type drill. You go one-on-one, you have 7 seconds to shoot. I mean, he's almost unstoppable in that role. But when you think about it, Riley Kugel right now is the 4th best guard on this team.
Yeah, and I think he's got to participate in his own recovery. And what do I mean by that? Impact winning in different ways. Bring energy, make a defensive stop, help a teammate. And that's true for any player that might be struggling. Does East make it look easy at times?
He does. Smooth operator, little runner and floater in his game.
I think East finds driving angles that other guards only dream about.
He's wiry enough to do it. He's got that body type. Kugel, not sure what that was, but Missouri will take it. Tough pass to East near the midcourt stripe.
See if East tries to go left.
Hauk is all over him. Suffocated him on that attempt. Here's Honor with 8. Shot clock down to 5. Here comes Pierce on Condon. Gonna have to shoot it. Pierce fires, and a shot clock violation. It did not hit the rim.
Well, we talked earlier about Florida moving without the basketball. This time it's Riley Kugel. Clayton to Kugel for the easy deuce. Gators up 4 at home.
Time now for some confident play brought to you by Regions.
Tyrese Samuel does most of his scoring in the paint, but he does it in different ways. The half-court set offense, getting on the offensive glass, and every once in a while he can create his own look off the bounce. Quite the skill set for a guy 6'10". And so far tonight, perfect.
He's kind of leads the way for that quartet of bigs that we alluded to in the open, the transfer from Seton Hall, and one of a few players in this game, Mark, that has racked up a ton of mileage over the years in terms of games played.
Yeah, we talk about guys that have played a lot of games. Samuel tonight is playing in his 146th game. But he's not even the guy with the most amount of games played. That belongs to Nick Honor from Missouri, who's playing in his 152nd game tonight.
And you talked to those guys. Were they surprised at that total overall?
Well, I asked them, I said, do you know the number of games you played? They all went no. And I said, do you remember your first game? And Nick Honor said, yeah, this was when he was at Fordham. They played on the road at Houston Christian. He's correct. I told him, I said, if you tell me and I check it out and it's correct, I'm going to say it on the air. But if you're wrong, I'm also going to dog you on the air, okay? So they all smiled about it. Here's the list of players. And Noah Carter, his first game was against Old Dominion. Poland's first game was at Nebraska. The only guy that messed it up a little bit was Samuel, and he said his first game was against Michigan State. It was actually his third game.
We're going to cut him some slack since he's already got 9 points. Another Gator big getting a bucket there on that action. Handlocked it on the finish, and the lead swells to 6.
Mike, I think this is the 4th time we've had Missouri. Isn't this Missouri doing Missouri things? Just kind of being the hang-around team?
Yeah, it is a team that has gone down to the wire in a lot of close games this year. That's encouraging if you're Mizzou. Majok, the 7'2" senior, with a bucket. Richard, 3-ball from the corner. Hand logged in, crashing in. That's what the Gators do so well. That might have been more of a slither than a crash. There's not a whole lot of resistance.
But he's moving without the ball.
Yeah.
Great offensive rebounders put their camera down and they get in the picture. They never take the picture.
When he's on the floor, Handloggin, number 2 in the nation in offensive rebound percentage, just under 20%. So 1 out of 5 misses, he gets it.
Yeah, just watch Handloggin, top of the key. Look at him just go to the glass. That's being active. Right place at the right time, all because he made the effort play, and offensive rebounding is a lot about effort.
But as a coach, Mark, if you're going to crash like that, you have to have confidence in your guards getting back on defense,
well, that's
right?
part of the mix, no question about it.
Otherwise, everybody would just send a bunch of bodies. East at the top, 6-point game here in Gainesville. Shot clock at 1, gonna have to fire. He got it off, and it almost went in for Bates. Under 10 to play, first half. Gators looking to make it their 9th win in the last 11 in SEC play. Open shooter, Richard passed up the 3. Pulling will not, and hits.
They're pulling 40% from deep, but how about the action going from sideline to sideline, making Missouri have long closeouts.
First triple of the game for Florida.
Well, this action is back to the screen, back to the playmaker's screen, so difficult to defend.
Great hanging bucket again by Bates, right over the 7-footer.
What did Todd Golden, he told us, he said, I know this sounds crazy, but in the first game, I thought we did a pretty good job.
Yeah. Sometimes.
And Bates went for 36.
Hey, when you're on a heater, sometimes no defense is good enough. East, baseline drive, rejected by Houck. Richard on the run out, gets it to the rim, and a foul is called.
We talked about the different skill sets that those bouncy bigs have. How about Houck's ability to recover? Richard out in front, but man, is that impressive. That is the definition of rim protection.
They're all big, and they're all twitchy.
I think Todd Golden is asking one of the officials to take a look at the play because I thought East grabbed the jersey.
Yeah. You and I saw the same thing, because that was right in front of us at midcourt.
Take a look. If East doesn't grab the jersey or the shorts, I don't think you can see it from that side.
I think the other angle would tell a better story.
Take another look.
That's the one.
Yeah. Just kind of grabs the jersey. Does that qualify as excessive? If that's excessive light, if it is.
It is light, but you just can't do it.
Yeah, at the next level, that would be a no question, right?
Yeah, they call that a take foul in the NBA. And will remain a common foul.
I got to tell you, I kind of like that. If it was any more egregious, yes,
right.
F1.
Okay, Pat Adams just telling us.
Definitively.
Almost like, hey, don't second guess me.
We were going to argue.
Your Honor, you won the case. Now, either way, Florida's going to get free throws out of it. Now, Richard to the free throw line, 78% on the season.
Richards had a very uneven season in terms of shooting the ball up and down from the arc especially. But in the last two, he's almost 50%, maybe showing signs that he's starting to get on a roll.
You know, you and I have been talking about it. We'll talk more about this during our next broadcast. Some of the best sharpshooters in this league. And admittedly, I thought the numbers would be a little bit better for Richard, but his stroke is still pretty doggone pretty.
Right.
I mean, it's almost effortless. Maybe the numbers will heat up toward the end of the year. If so, that's a massive weapon as a number 3 guard.
They're trying to swing Bates side to side with 2 low block screens.
Just tight rims that time for Bates. That one was halfway down. Hauk inside, wheeling, dealing, took it right on the 7-4 Vanover. Another offensive rebound for Florida. Kugel inside. No finish for Hanlager.
That's one you got to make.
Honor. Runner's no good. Got it back.
Nick Honor, offensive rebounder.
Clayton on a block and out of bounds to Mizzou.
One of the things that Dennis Gates, and I love this move, from January to February, is giving Honor more freedom. He has the green light, especially in transition. Here's Clayton, not known as a shot blocker, but gets a piece of that one. But if you're struggling to score, and Missouri in league play is 13th in scoring, you need to find offense. So giving Honor the green light, especially in transition, if he can see the rim, shoot it, I like that move.
Honor again.
On cue.
Third time's a charm.
On cue. He just made his 267th career 3-ball.
His 152nd career game. Clayton, straight on 3. Walter Clayton has a lot of skills in his bag. You saw the block on the other end. He's a great defender, outside shooter, good passer. There's a lot to like about number 1 in white.
It's going up.
Working on Hauk. Leads it off for Vanover in the 7'5" Vanover, which is illustrated on his jersey number 75. Gets a flush. Clayton pulls the trigger. And out of bounds to Mizzou. And a timeout on the floor with 7:04 to play. Missouri hanging around, playing tough. Gators up by 6.
I like the decision by Denzel Aberdeen. Probe the defense, find a teammate. Why not find your leading scorer? Clayton knocks down to 3.
What are we setting the over-under on Dalton Connect, one of the most exciting players in college basketball? High-scoring game.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of threes.
Yeah. 31.
I like it. One of the many reasons to watch ESPN. That'll be on Saturday night. Tennessee and Alabama. He's Mark Wise. I'm Mike Morgan. A little hump day hoops here from the O'Connell Center in Gainesville.
How about Nick Honor at the point now? This puts East and Bates off the ball, both.
Honor, tough shot. Draws the foul from behind.
Again, Dennis Gates mixing things up a little bit. He likes to do that on both ends of the floor. They zone about 20% of the time. We haven't seen it so far tonight yet, but drawing up a play for Nick Honor to initiate the offense and then get the ball back to him.
85% free throw shooter is Nick Honor out of Orlando, Florida. First free throw for Mizzou.
A team that struggles some games getting to the line. SEC opponents shoot more than 25 a game, while Missouri just shoots 19. Now, here's an interesting matchup.
Tough one for Vanover. Oh, no. Samuel down low after Walter Clayton put the 7'5" Connor Vanover on skates.
Not fair. Just not fair. That's a bad pass by Honor.
Honor was trying to hit Bates.
Take another look. Yeah, the stagger move. I would say that looked like you playing defense, but I know you made your mark defensively.
Hardly. At least he tried.
How about this on cue? Missouri goes to a 2-3. It's sort of a 1-1-3, but it flattens into a 2-3.
Florida has some zone breakers, including Richard, who missed that one a little off balance. East in the corner. Up top, Bates. Speaking of mismatches, got Condon on him. Shot clock at 10 for Honor. Nice action. The miss, the tap, and the foul on Vanover.
Maybe not a bad foul, really. It looked like Florida was about to get out and go in numbers. But here's Missouri kind of controlling tempo, being the hang-around team. In Missouri's last two games, with 10 minutes to go in each, against Tennessee and on the road at Arkansas, it was a one-point game. They have been the hang-around team. They just haven't been able to close in the fourth quarter.
Right, and the record is what the record is, but that man is not going to let this team quit. Maximum effort every game. You and I have been around long enough to see a couple of teams that, quite frankly, could not wait for the season to get over with.
Right.
The body English indicated that. There's no signs of that with this Mizzou squad. They would love to pull off an upset and pick up that conference dub tonight. Richard found the line and then found a miss, and then an offensive foul on Condon on a push.
It's a wide open look by Richard, and Florida already putting Missouri in the bonus.
Condon saying, hey, in Australian rules football, that's 100% legal. Yes. Little push, little shove here and there, it's all part of the game.
So Dennis Gates now has gone to the zone 2 straight possessions, and they've gotten 2 stops.
That is the 17th foul on Florida, so a 1-and-1. Vanover doesn't go to the line a bunch, but when he does, 87%. Former Arkansas Razorback, originally out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Connor Vanover, along with Jamarian Sharp of Ole Miss, the 2 tallest players in the league and 2 of the tallest in the country.
Condon with his second foul goes to the bench, but what did you talk about foul trouble?
No issues. You got 3 more of them that can play that role. What a luxury that is for head coach Todd Golden to not have to really worry about foul trouble.
Vanover came into the league as a big guy who could knock down threes at Arkansas, but he has really struggled with the arc this year. Just 4 for 20.
2 free throws makes it a 4-point game.
And another defensive change. A little 1-2-1-1, 3-quarter.
How would you like to see them break it?
The way they did. I mean, you got to kind of be patient and find the open and then attack. That's 3 straight open misses that Richard has had.
I take it all back for the all-sharpshooting team. Reconsider. Under 5 minutes to go in the first half. This is a return game. The Gators won the first one in Como. New ball off the mark by Noah Carter. Here's Clayton. Little jump step in the lane, and there's the fall. Hand locking.
what we said doing some Florida games, sometimes their best offense is get it up on the rim.
Get on the rim and crash. 9 second chance points for the Gators in this first half. Honor on a three. He spins out.
Clayton relaxed for just a minute.
Owen has been quiet, just 3 points tonight. He'll put one up here and draw a foul.
That wasn't a good foul by East. Pullen had nothing going. Kind of a bailout foul.
So Zion Pullen goes to the line. What an addition he has been. Todd Golden told us yesterday, I don't even know if we would be half of what we are without number 0 in white. Zion Pullen grew up in Pleasant Hill, California, which is near the Bay, which is where Todd Golden coached at the University of San Francisco. And he took San Francisco to the tournament, but when he was in high school, Todd Golden actually passed on him. He said, I made a mistake. My evaluation was not good. I wanted to get him back. Well, then he tried the pros, was going to leave. After last year, the pros did not give him the grade he wanted. Then he makes a phone call to his friend, the head coach, over at Cal Riverside. Had to battle a couple other SEC schools to bring him to Gainesville. And boy, are they glad that they got him. That's one of the best additions out of the portal this year.
Florida's trying to chase East off that ball screen. And once East gets you on his hip, he's very effective and efficient as a scorer.
Samuel takes it right into the body. Good job by Vanover to stand his ground. Shot clock under 10. Clayton, hounded by Honor, gets a screen from Samuel. Fade and fire off the mark, and the rebound to Missouri. Missouri can cut it to 2 with a three-pointer here.
Zone has slowed the pace of the game. Dennis Gates, I think, wants to talk to his team.
The Gator Bigs want to crash.
Yeah.
They have full authority to do so, and they do it as well as anybody in the league this year. And that has once again been a factor in this game. There you see the rebound margin for the Gators, plus 7.9. At one point it was plus 9 just a couple weeks ago. Second in the SEC. Obviously Missouri struggles in that department, but they've held their own. It's only plus 3 for Florida at the moment. East on a rise and fire. Hanlocken top floor on the rebound. Under 3 minutes remaining first half. Clayton directing traffic.
It took him a minute to get organized, but now Mizzou back in the zone.
Inside Samuel. Wide open three for Kugel. He has struggled sometimes with the most open of looks. He's not going to get a better one than that, but a foul on Missouri going for the rebound.
I think Dennis Gates just got teed up. Not only is he arguing the play, but he was out on the floor. I think James Breeden.
Oh, as that Butler and Samuel get tied up, and that's going to be on Butler.
I don't think it was the complaining. I think it was on the floor that probably got Dennis in trouble.
And now Dennis Gates wants an explanation from James Breeding, one of the 3 officials, and James Breeding is on the other end of the floor. He's 50 feet away. Clayton sinks the free throw. Now James Breeding is going to walk over to Dennis Gates. And
I think he wants him to take a look at the play to see if there's interaction between Samuel and Butler.
Right.
So he's asked, which he can do as a head coach.
What if that goes the wrong way, however?
Yeah, right.
It'll be interesting to see if this verdict helps Missouri or perhaps even hurts Missouri. Officiating crew doing a great job keeping us apprised of everything.
Bottom right part of your screen.
Ooh.
There's Samuel.
So that might be a legitimate case. Samuel,
I agree.
Because it's above the shoulders. It's the head and neck area. Samuel.
Well, again, Butler does it also.
Right.
All that action is above the neck by both players. I think the difference is Samuel kind of connects, if you will, or I think there's contact.
So they are going to stay with what they have. It will be. You got Clayton with another free throw before we can do anything else.
Right.
think when you look at it, Mark, people sometimes hear replay and they go, oh no.
And you know what else that happens? That didn't go Dennis Gates' way, but
Right.
he's calmed down though.
Right.
Because he now knows they've gone and taken
That's
a
right.
look.
That's right. Everybody's a winner.
How about this?
Everybody feels better.
4-point play at the free throw line. The technical was on Coach Gates being out of the coaching
Right.
box.
Samuel splits the freebies. Bates boards it. Mizzou trying to cut into an 8-point deficit.
Mike, don't you feel like this is an important 2.5 minutes for the road team?
100%. These last couple of minutes in the first 4 of the second half, I think Missouri's got to at least stay even with Florida. That'll help the cause. Bates again hanging and inventing midair.
That's a great description. He is so creative.
Kugel whips it cross court to Clayton. Back to Kugel.
Yeah, he's got to take that shot.
Samuel will.
Setting up. I think this is a foul and hand locked in.
Again, the Florida Bigs with that aggressiveness have been drawing some fouls, and that will stop the clock at a minute 56. It'll send Missouri back to the free throw line, a chance to make it a 4-point game. This encapsulates Missouri's season, does it not? This kind of game, the question will be, can they finally finish one?
Yeah, they had a bad break, and now they've kind of weathered that. See if they can do some damage at the free throw line. Jordan Butler just 10 of 18 on the year.
Butler, a 7-foot freshman out of Greenville, South Carolina, and misses a critical front end of a 1-and-1. Missouri back in the zone.
Yeah, Kugel passed up the shot. He's replaced by Richard. He will not pass up the shot.
Clayton won't either. Step right into that three.
Again, they're trying to separate the two guards defensively in the zone.
Honor on a step back. Too strong. Nice tap out, but it will remain Florida basketball. Great effort by Carolero Martin.
I love the challenge on the closeout on Honor by Thomas Houck. One of those bouncy bigs that can impact winning in different ways. There's a look at Houck, who had that monster game on the road at Georgia.
He is having a monster game today. Clayton, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists. More tenacious defense by the transfer from Iona, who was led by Rick Pitino at the time.
Samuel's got to know in the middle of a zone, you don't have time to put it on the deck.
East, quick trigger, rebounded by Pullen on the attack. Nice job by Carter to cut him off. Under a minute to go, first half in a 9-point game.
Man-to-man after the miss.
Step back. Samuel had it, loose ball, and squirts out to Missouri. Here comes Bates, one-on-one foul. And that might have been the best defense Clayton had, because he had a full head of steam and a lot of creativity ready to go.
Bates in that first game had 36. He was 13 of 21 shooting. Only 1 of 4 from beyond the arc, but he gets to the free throw line a lot. 9 of 9 in that game.
Now Bates, among his many skills, 93% at the free throw line as the lefty goes too strong on the first one. So that's 2 1-and-1 misses for Mizzou.
You are in postseason form.
And there's another miss by Richard. Boy, he has been chilly from downtown. Now 0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 4 from behind the arc. Make it 0 for 5 from behind the arc. 2-second differential for all intents and purposes. Missouri can play for the final shot.
Watch East create his own.
Carter. 3-ball corner rings off. 5 seconds left.
Got time.
Clayton. Richard again. And Richard will finish the first half 0 for 6 from behind the arc. One of the few blemishes on the Gators' first half resume. It's Florida 37 and Missouri 28. We got a big one coming up on Saturday that'll be on ESPN and the SEC Network. That'll be against South Carolina. That would be a quad 1 game for the Gamecocks as they continue to try to battle. What a great race we have in the SEC right now. Tennessee and Bama at 11-3, Auburn and Carolina 10-4, Kentucky at 10-5, and if this Gator team wins it tonight, they would be 10-5. That is a heavy group of heavyweights, if you will, at the top of this conference.
Interesting that Missouri started the second half back in that zone. There are only 2 ways to beat a zone. You either shoot a team out or you rebound a team out.
Vanover, all 7-5 of them, and that's going to be a foul as well. The bucket counts, and Vanover will have a chance at 3 the really hard way.
This is a really good call because you've got to be allowed to land. So even though Richard goes to the floor, he's in the way of Vanover landing. That's an excellent call by Pat Adams. And excuse me foul, but a foul nonetheless.
Quality minutes off the bench tonight for the 7'5" Connor Vanover. Now 7 points and 4 rebounds. The former Arkansas Razorback.
Again, this little 1-2-1-1, I don't think it's really designed to trap and steal, just to slow down Florida. And starting the second half tells me Dennis Gates wants to see if he can get Florida standing around.
How about Vanover starting the second half? And there's Hanlocken with the tip-in.
But see, Vanover's locked up on Samuel. That almost gives Hanlocken a free run at the offensive glass.
Weaving through traffic, keeps running into Vanover. He's tried to lob it through, and a foul on Florida. So the whistle going the way of Mizzou to start off this second half. A couple quick fouls on the Gators, and that is 3 on Clayton. And the first Gator in foul trouble. Good start for Mizzou, and it is now a 6-point game.
So against this zone, I like to have cutters. The weak spot of the 2-3 is the free throw line area in the short corner. They just got it to the short corner.
Reach-in foul on the Tigers.
This is a flare screen for Honor. Clayton is trailing, so he just takes what the defense gives him. And for a guy that's only 5'10", how about that creativity? Richard's got to shoot that.
They could not buy one in the first half, and it's no sale here in the second. He's 0 for 7. Honor again, and he rains another triple, and it's a 3-point game. And Honor has tied the Missouri record for multiple 3-point field goals in 12 straight games now.
What I tell you about the green light that he has even in transition.
Turnover, a steal by the Tigers, a chance to tie it with a 3. Bates downhill, pass was blocked. Probably would have been better served to just take it all the way. Bob pass Samuel, and he overshoots him.
What the zone has effectively done, I think, is it's taken Pullen out of the flow of the offense. And that has really slowed Florida down.
Yeah, Pullen's been quiet, just 4 points and just 1 assist for one of the top assist men in the league. East. Teardrop, yes. 1-point game.
That's really tough action to defend. Almost a ghost screen by Vanover. I think Florida needs to move pulling around, maybe even put him in the middle there.
Samuel with a friendly bounce. That puts the end to a 10-2 Missouri run.
Florida's not having any trouble getting the ball to the middle. They're having trouble scoring from that spot.
East has got Samuel on him. Now a switch to Hanlocken. Probing. Dumps it off Bates in the trees. Turns and fires and misses. Bates is still down on the other end. 5-on-4 for Florida. And pulling his foul.
Good job of walling up on the attempt by Bates. And you and I watched Florida work on this drill yesterday.
Yeah. First you see the shot that Bates took. Looks like he's okay. He's walking over toward the Missouri bench. Yeah, we were at practice yesterday, and we have the opportunity and the access to see all kinds of drills, Mark. I have never seen that. They opened up practice with guys just driving hard to the rim, and every defender had to wall up, hands in the air, jump straight up, with the lesson being contest without fouling, wall up without picking up a foul. That was a very interesting drill.
Well, you know, big guys, they swear they never foul when they try to go vertical. But so many times, one hand or the other will break that law of verticality, and they foul all the time. And Todd Golden was telling us about it and saying, hey, you're fouling.
Yes, he mentioned
so they actually worked on it in a drill.
He mentioned one player in particular that tends to be guilty of that. Bates on a two-hand slam on a beautiful cut, and Honor finds him.
That was a call from the bench. And they're getting the ball in.
Pulling for three.
But again, the three-pointer comes after an inside touch, make the zone collapse.
East off the curl, and then an illegal screen of Majok. 15:40 to go, 6-point game in Gainesville.
Great execution on the backdoor play by East. Richard gets caught ball watching. On the other end, the ball goes inside out against the zone, and Pullen knocks down to three. 6 teams in the country who can make that claim in terms of having no losses in quads 2, 3, and 4.
And Auburn is another one of those from the SEC that has that rather unblemished mark, quads 2 through 4. What did Joe Lenardi tell us, though, last Saturday? He said big wins count more than bad losses.
Yes.
And when you talk about Texas A&M, they are going to be the ultimate bubble team in that respect.
They are 6-6 in quad 1, 6-6 in quads 2 and 3. Coming out of the timeout, Missouri tried to switch up defenses, went man-to-man.
Clayton makes him pay with another triple. That's his third 3 of the ball game. East on the drive. Whips it up there. Can't find it. Now Florida, one of the fastest paced teams in the country. And Logan thunders one home, and a timeout by Missouri. 6-0 run leading to the Gators' largest lead of the game, now 11 points.
In transition, Clayton, a little shuffle pass. Hanlocken with the flush.
Talk about what Missouri is lacking this year with this roster. Of course, they lost a lot. Hodge was a great defender and three-point shooter. And then Kobe Brown was one of the best players in the league last year. But no fear for Mizzou. Talking to our ESPN recruiting analyst, Paul Biancardi, they've got a top 10 recruiting class coming in, a 5-man class, all 4-star prospects, including 2 ESPN 100 prospects, Lenore Boating and Marcus Allen. So help is on the way, and Dennis Gates has shown you what he can do, and he's got a full complement of players.
So Richard on the floor with 3 fouls for Florida. Clayton on the floor with 3 fouls.
Carter, been quiet so far in this game, and staying that way. Carter looking for his first points of the night. Condon hit in the face, accidental. on Anthony Robinson.
We talk about the bouncy bigs. On this last play, watch this, Mike. One big rim protects, the other big rebounds. An illustration of why perhaps Florida is so good on the glass.
In a time where you've got some programs that are in search of one quality big, Florida has 4. And that is a luxury for that man, Todd Golden. Todd Golden told us he knew that this year he was going to have something special with his roster. Last year when Colin Castleton went down and they really were playing so shorthanded, it was a mismatch nightmare in the post. They really struggled rebounding. Boy, did he solve that void through the portal and in recruiting this season. Bullen gave it right away to Robinson. Robinson, the young man from Tallahassee, gets an and one. And they'll be celebrating that one 2 hours north of Gainesville.
And that's a bad foul by Clayton because that's his 4th. You've got to know your value to the team. There's no reason to foul in this situation. Pulling, as you mentioned, a rare turnover. But I love the aggression of Robinson, the young freshman, taking it all the way to the rim.
Florida has a couple of options here, but it will not be Kugel, it'll be Aberdeen. Denzel Aberdeen, the sophomore. And what do we have here?
This must be a technical. I think it may be on, is it on Clayton? If that's Clayton, that would be his 5th.
That would foul him out of the game on a technical foul. Well, Walter Clayton's night is done. And the coaching staff looking at him like, son, you're too valuable to be fouling yourself out on a technical foul. 2 free throws from East. Watch the chatter here from Clayton on the way out. Sometimes it's not how many words, but the so-called quality of those words.
Well, this game just changed
It
dramatically.
did. You're talking about one of the most valuable guards in this league. Meanwhile, Missouri, second free throw misses, but Missouri gets it back, an extra possession. 14 minutes remaining in Gainesville.
Mike, Florida hasn't played 14 minutes in a row all season without Clayton.
Right. You've got Samuel, I beg your pardon, you've got Richard, who's been struggling. He hasn't been able to buy a bucket all night. And Pullen's been pretty quiet. And I have a feeling both those guys will play a major factor down the stretch. Aberdeen lost it. Boy, some sloppy play here.
Bad pass by Condon. Was just about to say Aberdeen did such a good job on East in the last possession.
What do you want to see out of Missouri offensively?
Well, this is an offensively challenged group that's on the floor. I think you got to put the ball in East's hands and let him operate.
Hanover, that barely grazes the iron. See if the Gators maybe get a paint touch here. You've got Hanlocken and Condon working the post.
I think you've got to get a guy below the zone also. Make the low guys in the zone have to hunt and find bodies.
And a bailout foul because you had the shot clock under 5 and you foul Pullen 20 feet from the basket.
Well, I promise you the wheels are churning on that Florida coaching staff. Because they've got to plan for something that you really didn't anticipate. I mean, you always think about foul trouble, but to have your leading scorer out of the game with 14 minutes to go, it's a tough ask.
And again, I mean, Will Richards, a veteran who's been there, done that, but he's 0 for 7. Richard up top gives it off to Pullen. Zone stymieing this Florida offense right now. That's somewhat of a settle, but Pullen will rattle home to 3. And a timeout called with 12:33 to go.
It's a nice job by Pullen, who realized that he had Vanover on him, and watch him create off the bounce space. So he dribble drives to the baseline side. Now he knows he's got Vanover. Vanover really doesn't come out and close out, so Pullen takes what the defense gives him.
You can't ignore a 40% three-point shooter, and he's 3 for 4 from downtown tonight, so that's a bit of a gift. East hounded by Hawk. Gets him on the pump fake. Beautiful job by the much smaller Sean East.
The guards have done a nice job not falling for East's ball fake, which he's kind of known for, but that time on the switch, Houck got caught trying to keep up with East.
Aberdeen, baseline runner, no sir. Gets it back, and a fresh 20-second shot clock.
That lob pass out, that's no good. That pass is no good.
Aberdeen, and Lane pops out, and a nice rebound by Aiden Shaw. First time we've called his name tonight. East has it poked away from behind. It'll be Missouri basketball.
It was a one-point game in both. He can make that.
Vanover got his hands on it, and that's going to be off of Missouri. It'll be Florida basketball.
Well, against this zone, without your leading scorer, can Florida find enough offense? A little bit of a change. They're going to put Houck in the middle.
Richard looking for his first basket. Threw it right to Noah Carter.
Too many bodies in a congested area.
Got bottled up. Noah Carter with the quick hands. Honor runs right into the defender, gets the contact and the whistle.
Again, it's all about being the second jumper, not the first jump. Again, Honor ball fakes and gets the defender to make the first jump. Watch. Here's the ball fake. There's the jump. Absorb the contact. Finish off the window. Great play by Nick Honor.
Honor in search of his 13th point. Nothing but the bottom of the net, and Missouri making things interesting again.
And as long as Florida continues to struggle against the zone's here to stay.
And it's been wildly effective. Aberdeen. Vanover got his hands on it. They've got some good minutes out of Connor Vanover tonight. Google about to check in for Florida. A screen from Shaw. Shaw, bounce pass, heavy traffic. And Missouri very fortunate to get that one back.
Pullen read that play beautifully in a help defense mode. Got in to disrupt this play. There's 0 White, who was the first there, kind of gets run over by Carter. The ball goes off the back of Pullen. Watch the ball kind of crawl right there.
Now, as we watch Florida at times struggle with this zone tonight, Mark, it goes back to something you and I have talked about all year long. I'm amazed more teams do not switch it up with zone defense. Because quite frankly, a lot of teams hate seeing it.
And this is a really bad foul by Aberdeen. Puts Missouri and Nick Honor back to the free throw line.
That is 17 fouls with 10:18 to go.
That's my fault because James Breeding is saying the foul that Aberdeen committed had Shaw at the line, but I thought it was Nick Honor. I didn't think there was any doubt, and I think they've got it right.
They got it right now, yeah. But how about that? You're Missouri, you're in the bonus for the final 10 minutes and 18 seconds. You're playing a Florida team that doesn't have its leading scorer the rest of the way. And you are hungry as heck for a conference win.
We've said this all night long. Dennis Gates' club has been the hang-around team so many times this year.
2 for 2 for Honor at the free throw line. He now leads all scorers with 15 points and a 7-0 Missouri run. Pullen finds Samuel on the elbow. Kugel whips it over to Aberdeen.
I don't think Missouri's going to guard him.
Aberdeen takes it in, and a bump foul on Vanover.
Missouri commits just their 6th foul, so I think they may be giving him 2 shots. That's pretty generous here. Dennis Gates is asking the same thing I am.
Aberdeen doesn't go to the free throw line very often. He's only 7 for 11 on the season. This is going to be a great test for this Florida team.
Yeah,
they've been rolling. A lot of things have been going right, but they haven't had a scenario like this one without Clayton. Richard really struggling. And the zone by Missouri has had the Gators look vulnerable on the offensive end.
But for Florida now, can you defend in the half court without fouling?
East has 12 points tonight. He comes in red hot. Honor fouled on the 3. And that is going to be on Pullen. That's his 2nd foul.
Everybody's appealing. Honor was such a smart play. Let's take another look.
There's no monitor review for this one.
Coming off the screen. Yeah, Pullen doesn't touch him.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a bad call.
That is a miss, but again, not reviewable. And Honor will get 3 free throws. And if he hits all 3, it's a 1-point game. Florida has led this game from the opening tip. Honor is an 85% free throw shooter. He is a perfect 7 for 7 tonight. As you see Aberdeen go back to the bench.
Richard back in the game gives Florida a little bit more offensive punch in theory.
On an ordinary night, that would certainly be the case. He's stuck on 1 point on a free throw. And it's a 1-point game. The Gators haven't hit a field goal in over 3 minutes. Pull it up top. Samuel in the paint, takes it right on Vanover, a block by Vanover. 8 seconds to shoot. Samuel going to work on the big man, throws it up there and got fouled. I believe that might have been on Shaw trying to help.
I was really impressed with Samuel's ability to create his own space in the paint, and he almost took the ball to his left hand to attract the foul.
Now this has been the Achilles heel for this young man throughout his career. 53% at the stripe. And for his career, not much better, 57%. Those two had no chance. 1-point game, Missouri can take its first lead.
Missed 2 free throws, that's like a turnover.
Yep. Honor and East have led the way. Bates has been kind of quiet in the second half. Honor again. That one spins out. A great look for Nick Honor, exactly what Missouri wanted.
Pushing early would be the key for Florida. Find early offense.
Richard, alley-oop to Samuel, lost it, hand-locked and picked it up, no good. Rebound fought for and corralled by Shaw. Another chance for the Tigers to take their first lead.
I think I started to say Bates needs a touch, but East is a good option too.
East on a blow-by just didn't finish it. Over 4 minutes without a field goal. Richard looking for his first, and he got it. And he raises his hand saying, it's about time.
That's a breakdown in transition defense, but I said early offense. Find shots before the zone can get organized. Seems like we've gone a long time without Bates getting a touch.
He's in the left corner. Now gets it up top with 5 to shoot. This is going to be Bates time. Bates all the way. Finger rolls it in.
On cue.
Handlogged, defers. Clayton will not. Clayton will hit. Pullen will hit. Zion Pullen starting to heat up in the second half. That's his 4th three. He's got 15. East, stop and pop jumper is good.
Mid-range master.
And a timeout on the floor with 7:07 to play.
Back-to-back threes. It's been a long time coming, but Will Richard knocks down the first one, and Zion Pullen knocks down the second one. And we've got a good one in Gainesville.
And there was going to be no fans allowed, so it was going to be a unique experience to say the least. We were going to have 2 basketball games in the second round that were going to be played before no fans. Big time slam by Samuel and a foul. And there is the noise that Florida's been waiting to make.
This all was set up because Florida got the ball in the middle against the press. Watch. When the ball goes to the middle, Richard with an unbelievable wraparound left-handed pass, and Samuel with the one-handed schwackums in traffic.
Now Samuel, if Florida holds on to win this, you might be looking at your MVP tonight. He's on pace for another double-double, 17 points, 9 rebounds, and the normal physical defense you get at a number 4 in white. East, a lot of dribbling. Now the finish and the bucket.
But Florida in drop coverage, so he's taking what the defense gives them.
4-point game, 6.5 minutes to go here in Gainesville. Down low, Samuel rocks the rim again.
That was a big-to-big screen against the zone.
Safe to say that Florida has made some adjustments to that zone defense.
Different look, different attack. Florida's going to have to come up with something different against East.
East just playing, he's like a one-man wrecking crew right now. Just lulling people to sleep on the dribble and then finding shots. The mid-range master here in this ball game, Sean East. 18 points. Samuel back out to Richard. 1-3 is all Richard will be able to settle for right now.
I didn't think he had his feet set on him on that one.
Vanover can hit that, and he does from downtown.
Just his 5th made 3 on the season.
They like him as a stretch big. As you mentioned earlier, that's how they used him in Fayetteville. Samuel takes it right at him. Just too strong.
How do you take away a shot blocker? You take away his space. That time Samuel went into the body of Vanover.
Samuel 1 point off his season high against Kentucky. That was 22. Under 5 minutes to go. East behind the back pass, a kick basketball.
Take another look at East getting into the paint. Pick and pop by Vanover. was just 4 of 20 on the season, but knocks that down with confidence. Ball gets inside. Samuel takes away the space of Vanover.
Going to bring in Jordan Butler, I'm assuming, for Vanover.
I think that's interesting because Missouri was having a lot of success two-man game East and Vanover.
Right. Vanover, he might be inching closer to a season high in minutes played. He's played a lot in this game. Honor up top, clean look, left it short. One possession game. Pulling on a pull-up, good.
Early offense, they're much better attacking the zone.
Missouri, a little weave action up top, leading some clock down to 10 now on the shot clock for East. Finds open space, missed it, long rebound out to Bates. Pass down low, blocked by Hanlocken, but a foul. Aiden Shaw will go to the free throw line.
That's good rim protection, but more importantly, it's a good foul. Why? Because Aiden Shaw is a poor free throw shooter. That's a foul.
Yeah.
But Shaw is only 9 for 22 at the free throw line on the year.
A lot of arm with that ball. And Shaw to the free throw line. As you mentioned, the struggles have been real at the charity stripe for Aiden Shaw. That one had no chance.
He's almost shooting that ball from his shoulder.
There's some guys you can just tell there's no comfort level when they step up to the line.
Free throw shooting is two things and two things only: repetition and confidence.
Well, he gets 1 out of 2. The lead is 4 for the Gators.
Missouri has played every possession except one in the second half in this zone.
Bob pass Samuel. Inside, wheeling, dealing, got it. Right over Vanover. And that is a career-high 10 field goals for Samuel.
Over 2 defenders. Now here's the problem. This is a mismatch. The bigs are trying to keep up with East.
East gives it up to Honor. Honor reels it in. 10 on the shot clock. Here's Bates downhill. Bates leaves it off for Vanover. Beautiful drive and dish by Tamar Bates.
Yeah, way too easy. No defensive patience.
Samuel down low, Hanlocken rocks the rim.
Well, it's almost become which team can get a stop.
Yeah. How many dunks are we up to in this game? East poked away by Richard, steps out of bounds. And that'll bring us to our final media timeout.
All of a sudden it's become a dunk-a-thon. First, Missouri and Vanover, and then in response, the high-low action against the zone, Hanlocken at the rim.
As we now get ready for the All-State Mayhem moment brought to you by Allstate.
Yeah, this happened earlier in the second half against the press. Florida got the ball to Samuel, and he does what Samuel does best, and that's finish at the rim. 23 points tonight already. East and Bates.
Well, Vanover has been the guy with a season-high 12 points. They've given him very valuable minutes. East to Shaw. And Shaw had a little bump midair, and that'll be a foul on Kugel.
Kind of an excuse me foul, but Samuel in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Beg your pardon.
But this puts Shaw back to the free throw line.
And that is 10th team foul, so a little pressure off the young man. It's not a 1-and-1, it's the double bonus. 2 shots upcoming. 41% on the year. That is not a misprint. Hey, that's 2 out of 3. Quick math mark wise, I think that's 67%.
Moving up.
Trending upward. That's 3 for 4.
Good for Aiden Shaw.
We are bullish on Aiden Shaw free throw shooting. 4-point game.
And Mizzou goes man-to-man.
Samuel. It's going to take more than Aiden Shaw to stop the big bull down low.
Too powerful.
A career high 25 for Tyrese Samuel.
Florida doing everything possible to make East go right.
Pass to Vanover, deflected out of bounds with 9 to shoot.
It's inside 2 minutes, and they're asking for it to be reviewed.
Well, the thing about that is, when they review it, you can't go back and change it to a foul.
Correct.
It's 100% on who touched it last year, regardless of whether or not there was a foul.
Yeah, that's
what you're talking about. But unfortunately for Missouri, that's not reviewable.
Cannot re-officiate the play.
Right.
Take another look. Wow, this might actually go off Vanover.
Yeah. So this is one of those. If you're Dennis Gates, you're furious because you saw the same thing that we just saw. You've got a foul, but that can't be overturned. What can be overturned is the fact that the ball likely touches Vanover last, which would give Florida the ball. Okay, so what we thought would be the verdict is the verdict. And I still don't know what purview means, but thank you, Mark Wise, for throwing that out there tonight. 6-point game. Here comes the pressure from Mizzou.
This is Pullen time against man-to-man.
Pullen, rise and fire. One shot by Zion Pullen.
He finally said, I am so tired of looking at that zone. Big possession for the Tigers.
East on the drive, throws it up there, overhand logged it in.
If you allow him to go left, he's almost automatic.
Give East an even 20 points. Samuel leads the way for Florida with a career-high 25.
Let's see if Missouri changes up and goes to a hard trap.
Google, nice pass to Samuel. Samuel gets it back and one. That is how you beat pressure.
This is such a smart play by Samuel. Why? Because he gives it up in order to get it back. Let your guard be the decision maker. Smart play by Samuel. Little shuffle pass, if you will, by Richard.
What a night for that young man. Originally out of Canada, before playing his college ball at Seton Hall. Drew some attention from several schools, including one from the ACC, but in the end he decided to be a Gator, and what an addition for Todd Golden. East dribbled it off his foot. Gators 3-on-1, and a foul from behind on Shaw. And hopefully Pullen is okay.
It's one of the few mistakes that East has made all night long. He just loses the ball off the dribble. And that leads to the run out. Take another look. This is Pullen with Shaw doing what you're supposed to do. That's a good foul, smart foul. We're going to take a look at this. I don't see a flagrant there at all.
I don't either. This would
Well, I thought they were going to take it. Everybody was walking to the sideline.
Instead, it'll be Pullen at the free throw line. 86% free throw shooter. A quiet first half. He had one of his quietest games of the year on Saturday against Vanderbilt. You had a feeling he wasn't going to have back-to-back silent performances.
You know, one thing I learned in that game, we have undervalued all year what a good defender Ezra Mannion is.
Yes.
He got under pulling, he bothered him, frustrated him. Then we saw him do the same thing last night on the road at Arkansas.
Right, and he does it at 6 feet, 170 pounds. And you, being so anti-small guard, owe him an apology. Under a minute to go. Missouri needs buckets and they need them fast. Honor will pull the trigger and miss. And now it might be foul time for Mizzou. Or you can just play it out. And that's what the Tigers will do. Missouri once again, valiant effort. Made it close, made it interesting, but the Gators remain the hottest team in the Southeastern Conference. This will be the 9th win in the last 11 tries, and still very much in the SEC title race.
And they had to overcome some big-time adversity. I don't think that ball ever hit the rim. The shot clock violation. But they played the last 14 minutes without their leading scorer, but thanks to Tyrese Samuel.
Now they're going to check out that ball hit the rim or not. It's pretty much going to be academic with 20 and a half seconds left to go.
My first thought was it did not. And it did not.
You would be correct. What about this Florida team, Mark? We've seen them now quite a few times. And every time I see them in the month of February, I am more and more impressed. Well, after the final review of the night, we will play out. Well, it's now 22.7 seconds, so that was one other thing that was decided during the break. Gators are going to improve to 13-1 at home. The only loss in this building was to Kentucky.
And that last game at home is going to be a doozy because Alabama comes to town.
Don't forget, coming up, going to be a fun one in College Station. We'll take you straight to the Gamecocks and the Aggies. The story here, Florida once again prevailing, 83-74, your final score. Coaches shake hands.